A few months ago, we were focused on our draft picks and roster depth, but now we are talking about Vita Vea officially requesting a trade out of Tampa Bay. The star defensive tackle is on the market, and the Los Angeles Rams have emerged as the betting favorites to land him. Pairing a force like Vea with Myles Garrett is a terrifying prospect that shifts our entire defensive ceiling. Two things stand out here: why the deal makes sense and the cap hurdles involved. This situation is evolving fast, so smash that like button, subscribe, and comment your city below. Ram it! The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are potentially losing a defensive anchor as star defensive tackle Vita Vea has officially requested a trade, turning him into the most significant name on the off-season market. While Vea has never played for the Los Angeles Rams, our fans are buzzing because he is a premier interior lineman who could transform our front. Since being selected 12th overall in the 2018 draft, Vea has been a dominant force, totaling 256 tackles and 35 sacks while securing a Super Bowl LV ring. Last season, he started 17 games with 34 tackles and 4.5 sacks. Negotiations for a new contract in Tampa stalled, leading to this trade request just before training camp. And here's why that's a big deal. BetOnline Sports and Casino has listed us as the betting favorite at even money to land him. For us, this represents a rare opportunity to pair an interior powerhouse with the existing talent already on our roster. The reaction across our fan base is one of intense excitement, as the prospect of adding a Pro Bowler of his caliber to our defensive front feels like a championship caliber move. We have grown accustomed to seeing our front office build strong units, and the idea of Vea anchoring the middle is a dream scenario for many of us. Yet, we have to look past the excitement and consider the complicated logistics of his contract, which carries a non-guaranteed base salary for 2026. If the organization decides to pull the trigger on a deal, we need to know exactly what the cost of acquisition would be and if our cap space can realistically accommodate his long-term financial demands moving forward. The most shocking reality facing the Rams is that Vita Vea is actually reachable because he enters his final season with a non-guaranteed base salary for 2026. This standoff developed because contract talks with the Buccaneers stalled completely just as veterans prepared to report for training camp, signaling a total breakdown in communication. The truth is, we are witnessing a franchise in the middle of a massive transition following the departure of key leaders, and Vea clearly wants a long-term deal that provides the security he earned as the 12th overall pick in the 2018 draft. Over 8 seasons, he has recorded 256 tackles and 35 sacks, proving he is a durable anchor who started all 17 games last year with 4.5 sacks. Historically, our front office has shown a willingness to aggressively chase talent if it fits the defensive vision. And adding such a physical force to a line already featuring Myles Garrett would be an incredible move for Sean McVay. Behind closed doors, our leadership must be weighing the cost of draft capital against the potential of an immediate championship boost, especially knowing Stan Kroenke has never been shy about making big splashes to win. The Buccaneers are clearly in a difficult spot deciding whether to pay for past production or get value for their veteran before he hits the open market next year. While other teams like the Chargers, 49ers, and Raiders appear on the betting radar, our aggressive front office approach suggests we might be the most prepared to pull the trigger on this rare opportunity to secure a proven defensive engine. So that is the breaking news on the personnel front, and now let us look at what this actually means for our outlook this season. The bottom line here is that adding a player of this caliber would fundamentally shift our defensive identity from being solid to truly feared across the entire league. We have been watching Sean McVay build a roster that demands respect, and acquiring a 2-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle would provide the kind of anchor we have not seen in years. This move impacts our defensive line depth immediately by allowing us to rotate fresh bodies while keeping a massive presence at the line of scrimmage. If we can secure someone with 35 career sacks and his proven ability to stop the run, the ripple effect on our salary cap management becomes the next major hurdle for the front office to clear before training camp. Looking at our schedule, this would change everything for our upcoming matchups against heavy-hitting offenses, because a dominant interior lineman forces opposing quarterbacks to panic and rush their decisions. As we analyze our position against the rest of the division, this upgrade would place us in a much stronger standing to reclaim the top spot and secure a high seed for the postseason. It creates a defensive wall that makes life miserable for every offensive coordinator we face throughout the autumn months. Having this kind of muscle on the field changes the math for every single game we play, especially when we are trying to close out narrow victories in the fourth quarter. It is exactly the type of aggressive, championship-caliber move that we have come to expect from our organization. The prospect of bringing Vita Vea to Southern California is truly compelling because it creates an absolute nightmare for opposing offensive lines. Pairing a two-time Pro Bowl talent who has already tallied 256 tackles and 35 sacks with the reigning Defensive Player of the Year would provide our front seven with the kind of interior dominance we have not seen in years. And I cannot stress this enough. Adding a veteran who understands what it takes to win a Super Bowl LV championship brings essential leadership to a locker room hungry for another trophy. However, we must consider the significant risk regarding his salary demands as he enters the final season of his contract with non-guaranteed base pay for 2026. Trading valuable assets for a 31-year-old defensive tackle could leave us vulnerable if the financial commitment leads to further roster depth issues down the line. According to the team at BetOnline Sports and Casino, we currently sit at even money to land him, though the Chargers at 2-1 and the 49ers at 4-1 remain very real competitors for his services. While the buzz is exciting, I have my doubts about whether the front office is willing to gut our future draft capital for a player nearing the end of his prime. Here is where I land on this. While the betting markets are clearly drumming up hype, I think the cost of a long-term contract extension for an aging veteran is a gamble that might be too rich for our blood right now. We should be careful about chasing big names when we have young talent already developing in our own system. When we synthesize the latest trade rumors with the current state of our roster, the picture that emerges is clear. We are looking at an aggressive, championship-caliber window that shows no signs of slowing down under Sean McVay. By targeting a veteran like Vita Vea, who has recorded 256 tackles and 35 sacks over 8 seasons, our front office is signaling that they are prioritizing immediate dominant impact over long-term rebuilding efforts. Here's the thing nobody wants to say, but we need to acknowledge. Building a defense around both Myles Garrett and Vea is a luxury that few franchises would ever dare to attempt. For us fans, this is an exciting time to be invested in this team because it demonstrates that Stan Kroenke is fully committed to maintaining a high-tier product on the field. You should feel a sense of renewed optimism, knowing that our leadership is willing to pull out all the stops to secure a second ring. We have moved from a team finding its footing to a club that dictates the terms of the market. This strategy is bold, and it puts immense pressure on our coaching staff to capitalize on the talent currently in the building. So here is my question for you. If the trade assets required are steep, would you be willing to part with a high draft pick to pair Vita Vea with Myles Garrett this season? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Ram it! I'll see you in the next one.